Welcome, Outlanders, to the BroTalk, the most random podcast made up from Stardust Part 2 to make you think. My name is Augusto,
And my name is Marcus.
and today we're going to dive deep into the second part of our previous talk, right?
Which was
Many things.
psychology.
Which was many things.
Yeah, order, chaos, and fiction, drama.
It was chaos, basically, because
Yeah, it was
our
chaos.
memory is chaotic.
Yeah.
So, basically, we're going to extend our talk, right? We're talking about basis of society. Wow,
All right.
deep, right? We gave you headaches. Now we're talking about order, chaos, fiction, drama. Now we're going to get into psychology.
Okay.
We gave a base, right, to understanding the human nature itself. So now we get to human nature.
Since we were talking about human nature, I just remember about something.
Please.
We started talking about women's selectivism of men.
Right.
So I think it would be a good idea to talk about it and dive deeper into it.
I think we should. I think it's kind of advanced. We'll get there. I think we should get there.
Okay, but just remind to go back to this topic because
There's an episode that will be released someday in the fucking future, which is women's selective nature.
Is it not gonna be today? I thought it was gonna be like on minute 30 or something.
Well,
Maybe. Let's see where we go.
it will probably get to another episode in the future.
All right. So
Mark my words.
what are we gonna talk about right now?
Right. We're talking about order, chaos. I was going to say magic. Order, chaos, fiction, drama.
Okay.
Magic is important, but one day we'll talk about magic.
All right. Basically, the previous episode was about chaos and fiction,
Nature itself.
nature itself. Okay.
Now that we understand nature, right? We have this concept, this philosophical concept of nature. We can try to understand human nature because we are animals.
All right.
Period. We are animals.
Sure. Mammals.
And then we're apes. Right?
Right.
We're apes, basically. And now we can start going deep inside our brains.
Okay.
Not neuroscientific way, because I'm not a neuroscientist. I know jack shit about the brain, right? But we can, as I invented a word, philosophize about it. Right.
Okay, so
let's try to.
How would you begin this, my fellow friend?
That's what I'm thinking about right now. Well, when you take this concept that I have yin and yang, masculine and feminine energies inside of us, always interacting with each other, dancing with each other, we can understand why we live in society.
Okay.
Because we always have something that's stronger than us than it is in other people. For example, remember last episode when I talked about a strong woman can make a weak man become strong,
Yeah.
right? That's an example. We have reason, logic, and emotion. Some people are very, very, very rational, which is masculine energy.
All right.
And some people are very, very, very emotional, which is a feminine energy, and it links to that example you gave, that chaos is feminine and order masculine, because order is irrational, emotions impulsive, it's chaotic. It glues together, ties together to that.
Got it. And everyone has masculine and
Feminine
feminine energy
energies.
inside.
But they're usually unbalanced because we have personality traits, we have many things. If we are perfectly balanced, we become stones, rocks.
Yeah.
We stop being human beings, thinking sentient beings, right? We
Alright.
lose our essence.
And just for it to be clear and for people to know, if you are a man, it doesn't mean that you have more masculine energy. Maybe it's some balance.
No. This masculine and feminine energy has nothing to do with gender.
Yeah.
Right? Be it biological or whatever it is. I'm not entering this topic here. It's a philosophical concept,
Of energy itself.
of energy itself. Right. It has nothing to do with gender. So please don't explode don't flood the comments with things. We're bigots, blah blah blah. No, that's not what we're talking about. Please, okay? Let me drink one. Drink a lot of this. Before you bomb comments, drink 10 liters of water.
Shit. Alright.
So let's go. Well,
masculine and feminine energy.
We say that something's masculine, something's feminine, because men tend to have more masculine energies and women tend to have more feminine energies. But as I said, as reason and logic is a more masculine thing, we can't say there aren't reasonable and logical women. It's stupidity to say that, right? And vice versa.
Sure.
What's an artist? Who was Van Gogh? He's not a completely emotional man.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Sure.
Okay, he had a mental disorder and everything, but creativity, art, is a feminine energy.
Alright.
And vice versa. Why do we have more men in tech industry, in engineering? Because it's logical.
We are
men
more
prone to be logical. That's why you also have more women being teachers, nurses, because it's an emotional bond you form. The people interact with. That's something women are more prone to. More women are psychologists. More women are teachers, nurses, more women, what else women do more than men? Women can be more artistic, and they are much more artistic than men.
No, that's really true.
See a way a woman can tell different colors and how they match.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
The fashion industry. It's basically a female industry.
Yeah, it's moved by a female.
So,
maybe 95-6%.
why?
We don't even go out to buy clothes sometimes.
Exactly.
We hate to go out to buy clothes.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make any sense to advertise for men.
And
more often than women, I mean.
And we can also see that why is it that women seek therapy more than men? Because women are more emotional, they express what they feel better or at all.
And we used to keep it for ourselves.
Just shut it because you can't express it. We try to be logical and rationalize about what you feel, and then we have the deed. Right? Remember the deed, because you can't say what happens actually.
Yeah.
Because of censorship.
I think it is a problem that most men have in the relationships, because when women come to us to talk about a problem, we want to solve the problem.
And women don't want solution. Yeah. Many times, that was not a discussion, but a talk I had many times with my wife, that she said, I don't want you to solve my problem, I just want to talk about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because every time someone comes, my job is to be a problem solver. To listen to people and to help them solve their problems. Yeah. Or even let them figure out the solution for their problems. But many times I just have to listen. But when someone comes to me, oh, I have this problem, it's my job to solve it. And men tend to be good problem solvers.
Yeah.
And that's what you get. Sometimes women don't want to have their problem solved, they just want to talk about it. Because sometimes just talking about it solves the problem by itself. That entire basis, not saying like that, but it's basically the basis from psychoanalysis, you know?
Maybe, go ahead.
Psychoanalysis, the patient go to the analyst and he or she talk about their problems.
All right.
The analyst will listen to it, make some notes, and kind of direct the patient, so the patient solve the problem by themselves.
All right.
It's basically like psychoanalysis. No, sometimes just talking about the problem, you get to see a different point of view of it, and then there's a solution.
All right.
So we tend to seek people who live in society so we can solve our problems. We can find balance. And you can see most people don't seem to live good relationships or have relationships at all because they can't express themselves.
Yeah. And expressing yourself in a conversation is everything to
Right.
get in an agreement or just to understand each other and know what to do and everything.
Or just live in society.
Yeah, live in society.
What's an introvert? If not someone that absolutely can't express.
I think it's not an introvert, it would be a shy guy. I think those are different things.
Basically, because a shy person wants to communicate but just doesn't know how.
An introvert prefers...
He doesn't want to express it, doesn't want to be in public, doesn't want to live society.
But he can do it if he wants.
But he doesn't want to.
No, it's a shy person.
The shy person sometimes wants to but can't. The introvert can, sometimes can't, but doesn't want to.
Well, but if we stop to think about it, I forgot. Keanu Reeves is an introvert.
Right.
And he's a very good communicator. So,
because he's able to do it, he just doesn't want to.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Okay, got your point. But this is why I separate shy and introvert.
The
Because
shy simply is unable to
do
express.
that. And the introvert just doesn't want to do that, but he can.
Many
And
times is able
seems
to.
like it drains a lot more energy of introvert people than, I mean, a public speech or something like that.
They even call it social energy.
Yeah, because I feel like that.
Yeah, social energy. You got, oh my god, it's tiring, it's tiresome.
Yeah.
To get to people, to get to talk to people, to get to know people, it's even worse.
Well, I kind of like it, but I don't like when it's a lot of people.
Because you have to know many people.
I mean, more than 8
One.
people.
More than one.
I would say more than 8. I kind of feel drained a lot when I get back home and I just want to, I need 2 days before I go back
I need
to
to shut up.
social activities. Yeah.
Shut up. Don't talk to me. I need to shut inside my cave.
Well, I don't think I get to that point exactly, but yeah.
I'm just
Some years ago I got to that point.
hyperbole.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it is also some kind of practice. Because the more you use your energy, it seems like it expands.
Episode 1, communication.
Oh yeah, back to episode 1.
Because every single episode we go back to episode 1.
Yeah. No, but I'm just giving an
Well,
example, and it's
talk
about me.
society, right? So it's
Yeah.
communication.
It also happened to me because I am an introverted by nature. But back there, 2014, 2015, I couldn't talk to a lot of people. And I was drained very rapidly. And right now I think...
You get the I forgot the expression. You just do it. I completely forgot the expression. You get the hang of it.
Yeah, you get the hang of it.
You get the hang of it.
I think you can get more extroverted, you just need to go there and try to do that.
That's the thing. Remember we said that introvert doesn't want to communicate, doesn't want to be out.
Yeah.
If you change what you want, okay, go for it.
Yeah.
If you can't do it, then you seek therapy. So
Yeah, that's the point.
you become able to express yourself
Because you can't just live in the mountains
alone.
out of society alone.
You can't live off what you plant and harvest and for the seasons, from the rains.
Yeah.
It's just not like that the world works.
Sure. But well, going back to society, because we are back to communication right now.
Again and again and over and over.
What were we talking about before this?
How people look to others to get balance between masculine and feminine energies.
Okay.
Right? Many emotional issues, sometimes anxiety, depression, panic syndromes. And I'm talking about this approach I work, not psychological, scientific, okay?
Right.
But in my line of work, we say that panic syndrome, especially, it's a complete imbalance between reason and emotion.
Panic syndrome comes from anxiety, isn't it?
It's anxiety and depression at the same time,
All right.
at their peak.
All right.
It's a panic attack. Because anybody who has panic attacks can relate to that. Because when you're at it, you just want to think, because you think too much and you want to find reason in that crisis, in that attack. You just want to rationalize, or to understand, and to find a way out and solve it. And you completely forget about your feelings. Because everything's so exaggerated, you want to shut everything you feel.
Yeah.
So, to shut feelings, you gotta go to reason. So they're completely unbalanced. Basically, emotions stop existing for a while. That's when you have a crisis, an attack.
Sure.
And to, let's say, heal, right? Panic syndrome, you gotta make the person make peace with your reason and emotion.
Okay.
And when the patient is able to accept what they feel and try not to think so hard about it, the attacks start to get, weaker.
All right.
You don't become unable to move, because that's what happens. You become just unable to move your eyes. You're literally frozen at where you are, thinking what you're thinking, right? You can't move.
Come on.
You can't look. Just move your eyeballs. Blinking sometimes hurts. It's horrible. It's terror. And when you start to balance reason and emotion, those attacks start getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and it comes to a point eventually they simply won't happen more, because you find this balance, this alchemical marriage. The masculine and feminine energies start to talk, right?
Come on, interesting.
They're completely balanced, and that's when you get to Carl Jung, which is the archetypes of anima and animus,
All right.
which are basically this masculine and feminine energies.
All right, interesting.
Let's say your conscious mind have a strong masculine energy. You have an anima inside of you, a strong feminine energy
Okay.
shut inside of you, and you gotta make peace of it. And vice versa, if someone has a strong feminine conscious energy, you have an animus, a male energy shut inside of you, and you gotta make peace with it. A female or male version of yourself inside your own head. You gotta talk to it, you gotta know it like another person. Right? Like I'm just meeting someone new. You gotta know that person. You gotta make peace with it. And then you start balancing the energy. Because you start to listening becomes kind of an advisor, not like a voice you listen to it, anything like that. But your own thoughts start, our inner voice, right?
Yeah.
They start having like this advisor, which is this balance.
Balance every time.
Like for example, if you have a strong logic system, a really reasonable person, you start to feel more, right? Well, what am I feeling about this? Gut feelings.
Gut feelings, nice.
And if you are too emotional, too passionate about things, no, wait, let's just take a
balance.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Think for a while, and think get balance, and then you start getting a more balanced life. That's why I said a weak man can become strong by having a strong woman, and a weak woman can make a strong man weak, but can also get stronger having a strong man. If they both accept this alchemical marriage, and then both find balance together. Awesome. And then society evolves as a whole, right? This peer-to-peer thing, me and my partner, you and yours, that other person and theirs. And then it goes person to person, peer to peer, and then society gets better because you have more conscious people about their actions. They're more balanced. They tend to know things better. They tend to understand each other.
Yeah, but I think that unfortunately most people don't even know about that. So how could we get there?
Listen to the BroTalk. Where else? Well, let's say
this could be an idea, but
it could be an idea. Subscribe to the BroTalk. I command you.
And don't forget to like as well. And go ahead.
I command thee to subscribe to the BroTalk. Right? Well.
English.
Yeah.
I like it. Alright.
Biblical English.
Not only biblical, but
thou shalt start to study philosophy itself. But even better, just stop and try to understand yourself. This is what most nowadays gurus sell as self-knowledge. It's not an easy thing, like many people sell and literally sell.
Yeah.
Self-knowledge is a long
process, maybe.
Painful. It's not maybe long. It is long. It's painful, and it's exhausting. It's tiring.
Yeah.
But you've got to do it. Everyone. Not, I don't want to. No. I don't care. You don't want to. You have to. Because if you don't know yourself, you can't possibly know the other.
Yeah. And master your mind and defy the odds.
That's right.
David Goggins.
Isn't David Goggins talking about alchemical marriage? Sentence.
Probably.
Mastering yourself. What is it? If not this concept of getting to know your animal or animals, getting balance. Because by the time you get in balance, you can master yourself. You determine what you feel and what you think. And then you're able to pursue objectives.
Sure.
So it's basically alchemical marriage. It's talking about balance, yin and yang.
Yeah, kinda. Because I don't think that the balance for David Goggins is exactly the same balance as we are talking right now.
Well, even if he doesn't know that,
Okay.
it's basically because there are many philosophies that say the same thing. You know, we get religion, for example. Many religions, I would say all religion, but I'll get massacred in comments. But many religions say basically the same thing in various different words.
Sure. But that's not exactly what I meant. I meant that David Goggins is an extreme type of guy. Like,
He'll push
yeah,
through.
he'll push through and he'll not try to exactly balance.
So can you remember that in the yang example I gave you, because too much yang becomes yin,
Alright?
it balances itself by pushing through.
Okay.
The ice cube example. You put an ice cube, it's cold, but it can burn. So in, it becomes yang.
Alright.
You push through a hard time, you get to balance.
Okay.
You push through
Interesting.
chaos, you get to order. Right? Remember, as I told you in the previous episode, that when you have too much order, you start seeing problems, so you get to chaos. So too much order becomes chaos. You push through order, you find chaos.
Yeah, alright.
Right? Let me give you another example. It was on the tip of my tongue, I just forgot about. But basically that's it, right?
Sure.
So when you have this determination that I'll just soldier past life, you get balance. Reason and emotion, that's what I was going to say. When you are just too logical, at one point you get to understand, you rationalize that feelings are important, then you start feeling. Because stop and think, I've listened to everything but my feelings. So by reason, I'm going to get to know my feelings, and then you get to balance.
Okay, interesting.
And if you feel a lot, you just push through your feelings. You get to, wait, what is this trying to say to me? Because feelings say things.
Sure.
So what is this feeling trying to say to me? You're just thinking. You get to find balance anyway, because it's the way things function in the universe.
So we will find balance somehow.
Anyway.
Alright.
That's why I say you've got to get self-knowledge. It's not optional. We're programmed to it. We might delay it, but we won't.
One day or another.
We won't escape it.
Alright. Interesting. Nice.
The mind is very interesting.
It is. It really is.
And that's the funny thing. Those philosophies, even spiritual philosophies, they talk to each other.
Alright.
We're just talking about David Goggins here, right?
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't have to do anything with religion if you just look at the sheer perspective.
No problem.
Nothing. Just have to drive, willpower.
Exactly.
It talks exactly to those, Indian gurus, those guys that live in India by the shore of the Ganges, that they just live their life entirely with their arm up.
Yeah,
Because
I heard about
they
that.
would transcend the human experience, the mundane, and become spiritualized.
Man,
They say the same thing.
may hurt a
The
lot.
peak of reason, of brute force, goes hand to hand with the most, let's say, elevated. I disagree completely saying they're just elevated beings, but you can say that. I take Buddha. It's a pure elevated being. Do you know how Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, got illuminated? He became Buddha.
I don't think so.
He went to a kind of pilgrimage, right? where those monks that do the experiment, they don't eat.
Okay. For how much time?
Ever.
Ever.
They just walk, and then if they pass through a city and people say, oh, they're doing that pilgrimage, which I completely forgot the name because people knew about that, they gave these monks food, then they were allowed to eat. If people gave food to them, otherwise they will eat, they will drink.
Okay.
Gautama, he went to the extreme, he pushed through. He avoided the cities, so nobody would give him anything to eat or drink. Then legends say he had to cross a river, but he was too weak, dying from starvation. He had to cross the river, and he crossed it. And legends say that he held on to a stick because he couldn't move anymore. And no one knew how much time he spent there because, by his account, it looked like many hours because he just couldn't move. And he finally got strength to cross. He sat by a tree where people use the Draksha Tree, because it's a tree that exists in India. By that time, he sat there, closed his eyes, and accepted death. Then he became illuminated. He sat for X amount of time, and there were people around him. And then he opened his eyes. People were expecting because people knew, oh, that's a wise guy, that's a monk. He said it, he's illuminated, because in India there is this kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's going to talk.
All right.
The first thing he said was, let's get something to eat.
Okay.
He pushed through, he found balance. Isn't it exactly what David Goggins does to achieve anything in life?
Maybe.
It's exactly the same thing.
Okay.
So philosophers talk to each other every time, all the time. Religions talk to each other. We, as human beings, talk to each other. If I'm a very reasonable guy, how can I find balance if not trying to have a relationship with someone who's emotional? And we both have something to learn each other, because if you just, let's just be together because I'm reasonable, you're emotional, it won't work. Both of you have to accept you have something to learn the other, and together find balance, and then you really find balance.
Sure.
And if everyone did that, society would be much better. The world would be a much better place. We wouldn't be able to see so much polarization in politics, in life in general, in music, in everything. Whether you agree, you completely agree, or you completely disagree. You can't have mid-term society. You can't have balance in society nowadays.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Because nobody is thinking about those things. Nobody is listening to that. Put in mind and heart, mind and soul, let's say, to have a chat.
Yeah. People don't want to have a chat nowadays. They want to cancel people on the internet.
Why? Tell me why. Isn't it the same thing as love and hate?
It is.
You cancel someone because you hate that person. But
Yeah.
why do you hate that person? Because you really, at the same level, love the opposite. You know?
Yeah, there's no balance.
There's no midterm. You can't say, let's say, the biggest thing is politics. I'm not entering into discussion on politics, but isn't the people from the left canceling people from the right and vice versa?
Yeah.
Why? They hate on each other because they love so much what they defend.
Yeah, and there's no open space for discussion.
There's no talk.
Yeah.
And that's exactly something Jordan Peterson says.
There's no talk.
They depend on each other. Literally depend on each other.
Yeah. That's kinda, I would say sad, but I think it's normal.
Unfortunately, it's normal. But it's sad. You remember last episode when we talked about Jewish Cabal?
Kinda.
The pillars of the left and the pillars from the right. Oh, the left is expansion, the right is just from restriction.
Restriction. Okay.
And remember, I said something like that. I'm not talking about politics, but you see it has completely things to do. What is the left? Left is progressism. Advance, advance, advance.
Yeah.
Left. Even their name, left. And what's right? Conservatism. Restrict.
Yeah, sure.
Restrict, restrict, restrict. You can't have any of them too much power. Why? Because they get extreme. If you have too much progress and too much advance, you get lost. You don't know where you're going. Imagine, let's say you're in wild woods.
Alright.
You just go into the woods. You get lost and probably die.
For sure.
But if you don't enter the woods, and there's something after you,
You will die anyway.
you will die anyway.
Yeah.
So what you gotta do? Unite both. Enter the wood to survive, but then don't rush into it. Just go through slowly, carefully.
Alright.
So shouldn't right and left talk to each other.
I think they should.
Hey, we've got to advance, but we've got to be careful. Let's not keep track of things.
But
Let's
since
keep accountable.
none of them want to do that,
They just want to hate on each other.
yeah, I think it's not gonna be possible. Because it's not like in science where we want to discuss the matter and try to solve the problem. In politics, it's about who has more power, maybe. They don't want to discuss the problem and solve it.
They're to destroy their opposition.
Yeah. It's not science.
Or actually, if we
Well, science has
scientific method, they want to destroy their opposition.
Yeah.
I want to prove you wrong because that's how the scientific method works.
Yeah, right now it is. And Arthur Schopenhauer has a whole method of it.
Please.
I don't know much about it. The name of the book is How to Win an Argument Without Having Any Reason or something like that. I just freely translated from Portuguese. But it's just an explanation of methods of how to win an argument without having any reason. And I don't know all of them, but I think there are 14 or 15 methods. I can't remember. But it's exactly when philosophy, science, and everything got out of the meaning of solving a problem. It's not anymore about that. It's about me having the reason and just that. Or my political party maybe, or my political scientific opinion or anything.
And that's something about it. Because people, not saying just politics, in general, every aspect of life, people don't have an opinion anymore. They say they're eluded and think they have an opinion, but they don't. They have the collective opinion.
Yeah.
The opinion of the group becomes theirs. But do they stop to think about, wait a
Is
minute.
that really true? Is that how it
Doesn't
really
make
works?
sense to me. That's my truth. I'm just buying.
Yeah, that's why philosophy would be
And
important.
that's the biggest issue, because they think, yes, that's what I think. I completely agree. And when you completely agree to someone or something, you have a problem.
Yeah.
You can't completely agree with someone.
You need to have your own
Your
opinion.
own opinion, your own thoughts. Be it a political leader, a religious leader, your boss, anyone, your partner.
Yeah.
You can't just simply agree with everything. You have a problem.
Well, man, I don't know where we lost ourselves on this whole situation, but maybe the amount of information we received we receive every day makes we don't have enough time to think about it. But it's not a reason why you shouldn't think about everything you see on the internet, or maybe everything that your beloved politician or many of them are politicians.
Artist. Your favorite artist.
Yeah, maybe. But I think that in politics it's way more common, maybe.
Yeah. Because sometimes artists have political opinions, and sometimes they make money out of their political opinions.
Yeah, sure.
And they have to sort of think, well, the opinion that X artist is saying to me, is it real? Does he or she really think about it like that? Or he just made money to talk that, but her opinion is completely different? It's possible.
That's a point.
It's completely possible.
It is.
Money changes things. I'm not saying money is bad, but think for yourself a little bit.
Well, yeah, it is really like that. Well, it can happen on a minor scale as well. For example, a company sends you a game or a book for you to test. You don't like it, but you say you liked it because of the money they gave. Fuck it.
Yeah.
The same thing. It's not politics, but maybe it's a video game.
Basically, game critics, they have to play games.
Yeah.
They may like or not, but why do they do that? They make money out of it.
Sure.
Oh, you look at the game. You know you hate the game. You hate the genre. You hate everything about the game.
Yeah.
But it's a job. You gotta do it. You have an opinion of it.
Yeah.
And if they pay you well, even if you hate it, you're gonna say you loved it.
Sure.
Because your job is to say, I love that thing.
Yeah. There we go.
So
the cycle repeats itself in every area.
And as I said, everything connects. Everything talks to everything.
Yeah, sure. Everything.
So
Okay.
another headache for people to listen to. Right?
Another headache. Alright. So that's the end. Do you want to add anything else?
I don't know. I think we just talked too much.
Yeah, sure. So guys, make sure to like,
Subscribe.
and check out on our Instagrams on the description down below. Okay?
Thou shalt subscribe to the BroTalk, for I've commanded thee.
Nice, come on. And see you guys
On the next episode.
See you.
Bye bye.